I'm Tim Deeks. Welcome to the pathway to homelessness. How many times have you walked past some of the most vulnerable in the community and wondered what events in their life have caused them to fall into hardship? Who's to say if you or I would have been any different if we would have faced similar circumstances? At the end of the day, we are all human and we all have a pathway. So let's start walking.
Obvious question, but what's your name?
Sarah Matthews.
Sarah.
Matthews.
How long have you been homeless for?
About 2 years on and off now. So yeah.
And where did you grow up?
I'm out in the country. Wonthaggi, out in the country on a dairy farm, yeah.
What was your upbringing like?
Oh, it was all right. It wasn't too bad. Reasonable. My dad died when I was young, but yeah, it was just mostly me and my mum. But when we first lived on the farm up to 8, he taught me how to milk cows and stuff like that. When I was like 5, I remember learning how to and get the eggs from the chickens and stuff, and it was good fun. I like that part of my life.
Is your mum and dad, are they still with us?
My mum is, but my dad died, so yeah.
When?
Sad.
Yeah. When was the last time you spoke to your mum?
Oh, about a few months ago. I try and keep contact with her. She's always whinging about wanting to speak to me, but I find it hard. This sort of lifestyle, when you're out in the street, you just don't sort of have time to.
No, I don't want to pry, but is she aware of your situation? Is she aware that you're...
Yeah, but it sort of upsets her, so I try not to bring it up. As she sort of would. It's like, yeah, what do you do?
And you have brothers and sisters?
One sister. Yeah.
Where is she?
She lives out in Doreen, so out towards Middlesex, yeah.
How long have you been frequenting the St Kilda area for?
A little while around this Paran. Sometimes I was staying in St Kilda for a while, but I've been around Paran for the last like a year nearly. Nearly a year on and off, just around the area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's it been like out here? The people that you've met?
Up and down. So some people can be all right and okay, and other people not. I don't like it at night time mostly when I'm trying to sleep and stuff. I worry. I've always got to have everything wrapped around me so nobody can pinch anything or try to, grab you or just anything. You've got that sort of fear in the back of your mind anytime somebody comes near you, like you don't know what their intentions are.
A lot of women that I've interviewed for the pathway to homelessness have told me that they prefer to hide at night because they don't want to experience, anything really.
It's hard finding safe places to sleep. It really is. There's always people everywhere I find, and it is hard to, yeah.
What's your daily routine?
Well, I come out in the morning. If I got money, I usually get a coffee and a cigarette from the shop, and then I usually come out and start coal biting, usually around Coles or sometimes up near the bank or sometimes up near High Street, the 7-Eleven. But yeah, and then just start coal biting, waiting and asking for money and stuff like that. Yeah.
When was your last job? When did you work?
Not for years. I used to clean when I was younger, but I haven't really worked since I was like 18. So a little while ago. So I'm nearly 29 now. So yeah.
You're 29.
Yeah.
I'm 30. We're similar age.
Oh, okay.
Similar age. How did you fall into homelessness?
Oh, just basically, I had a bad relationship go wrong, and then we ended up breaking up, and he got a bit violent, and we ended up breaking up, and I ended up leaving, and I stayed with my mum for a while, and then that didn't end up working. We ended up fighting too much, so I ended up getting stuck out of the street. And I had somewhere at certain times during COVID, they were housing us in motels, and then they kicked us out, and then there's sort of, nothing been since. I'm on the waiting list, and that's all they can sort of tell me. I don't know what else. They reckon they've run out of funding to house people. It was meant to end up housing people once they were in the hotels, but the money, and they reckon, they can only get half the people into it, and I wasn't one of the lucky ones.
What has been the communication in terms of your future, in terms of being able to get housing?
Basically, not much. Just I'm on the waiting list, and she comes out and sees me sometimes out in the street, like once every 2 weeks. Gives me some sort of update, whether she thinks I'm moving up on the list and that sort of thing.
Who is this?
Just through names. Yeah, she comes out every so often. She gives me free vouchers and stuff sometimes. And yeah.
People that pass by the general public. How do you find most people?
A lot of people ignore you. I've noticed that. And look, some people say hello. Some people are friendly and give you money or buy you stuff to eat, give you stuff like that. But yeah, I find half of them are okay, half of them aren't. It's sort of half. You occasionally get ignored. You occasionally get a hello. Some people are just mean and rude, and they're just like "fuck you" or "go away, beggars, get a job." I hate that sort of reaction. It really upsets me when people get like that. Like, there's no reason to be like that. You either give something or you don't. There's no reason to be mean about it, you know? Like, if I'm not being mean to them, I don't know why they feel the need to. Just because I'm sitting there on the ground, they think that it's okay. I don't get that.
What do you think the public's view?
I think they think that we're lazy and we can't, and we're basically not, we can't get a job, we don't want to, we just don't want to work, we just expect to bludge, and that's what I think they think. But they don't understand it's not like that. It's really hard for a lot of people to either get a job, and without housing, it's just become beyond belief. And because I have a lot of problems with my anemia and I've been depressed and stuff, basically my job network wants to get me on the DSP, so they don't really want me to work either. So they basically don't see much point. They see how hard it is for me. So
Would you want to work if there was a job available?
if I physically could, I probably would, but I don't think I'd be up to it. It'd have to be very light work and stuff like that. Like, yeah, then I probably would.
What do you mentioned what you suffer from, but how does that impact you day to day?
Because physically, the type of work they want me to do is like in a factory and full on, and you've got to be on your hands, back in boxes, and on your feet all day. And I start getting dizzy because of the anemia. I start getting dizzy, and like every half an hour or so, I really need to sit down, or I start getting really faint, and it's not really good if you suddenly faint on the job and they fire you for it, right? And then I'm in shit, and it's like, I can't explain it. It's been that way for a while. Like the last 2 to 3 years, it's just gotten really severe. It was a lot less mild, but then I lost a heap of blood and had a heap of problems, and it just made me really ill. So I get a lot dizzy when I stand up for too long or walk too far, I get out of breath and stuff. And yeah, it's hard.
When you were growing up as a young girl, what did you want to be?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I wanted to be like a marine biologist at one point, or a childcare worker, or something like that. I always liked animals and kids and stuff like that, so that was sort of basically my main aim. But it just sort of didn't end up being, unfortunately. And like, what can you do? I couldn't fully get there. I ended up my mum ended up wanting me to quit school in year 9. She wanted me to do the cleaning business with her, and then yeah, I got into that for a while, and that helped. But then I never quite ended up getting back to the dream of trying to do that, binging busy, going to uni and trying to get that degree, and unfortunately.
What kind of student were you?
Well, reasonably so. Most things I got A's and B's at, so I was reasonably up there. But, yeah.
What subjects at school did you enjoy the most?
I used to enjoy English, science, a bit like that, literature, anything like that. I wasn't so good with the numbers, maths and stuff. Yeah, I had a bit of trouble with that. So.
Obviously, the relationship was a big factor in you becoming homeless.
Yeah.
Have you suffered from any addictions or?
Oh, yeah, I used to use drugs. I used to use heroin and stuff like that. And I smoked pot occasionally when I was ill, but Yeah, I went on the methadone and all that and ended up getting off it. So yeah, it was helpful, but it took quite
Was that a difficult experience?
It was. It took quite a few years to get off it. A lot of people will never get over methadone. They're still on it most of their lives, so it can be really tricky. That's what I reckon. It took me a long time and a lot of willpower. And so I kept lapsing and going back and then trying to, yeah, so it's a little bit of it back and forth eventually.
What's your relationship with the other people that are suffering homelessness?
Well, most of them I get along with reasonably well. Most of them are okay, yeah.
Do you look out for each other?
Yeah, as much as we can. There's a few full-on crazy ones that you can't really talk to at all, but you try to. It can be hard. Most of the other ones, we mostly look out for each other. There's one or two that's a bit dodgy. They go around trying to steal shit off you even while you're sleeping. You think, why do that? You know, it's not nice. Like, I don't like that. I don't go around stealing like other homeless people. Like, when they try to do it to me, it's like, Ray cracks it when people try and go up to him too. I've noticed that.
What do you want your future to be? If you could wave a magic wand and change something about your situation.
I don't know. I'd probably like to restart the house, relationship, try and restart my aim towards getting a job and a better career and stuff like that, and something that was more easier and I could get money and have a more better future that I could see rather than this, yeah. Nothing much I can see in my near future that's going to be really good, but I'm hoping for it to get better, basically.
You're a very good communicator, and even when I approached you, you had a great sense of warmth about you. You're very welcoming to others. Where does that come from?
I don't know, actually. I don't know. I guess it's just part of my nature. I've always been sort of generous, kind of honest mostly. Unless people seem threatening or like they've got the wrong intention, I'm usually all right to them, you know, friendly and stuff about it, rather than otherwise I'll be a bit more withdrawn and defensive sort of thing. But yeah, and I think people seem okay. I don't really worry as much.
What do you enjoy doing? What do you have any hobbies or
Just reading, doing crosswords, stuff like that. I do stuff like that.
what do you like to read?
Mostly magazines, sometimes novels, anything like that. Anything that looks interesting, basically, I'll give a go. I used to like all those sort of horror-y ones, like Dean Kuntz and stuff like that. I used to get into that.
Is there a misconception that people have about homelessness that you wish you could kind of explain to them?
I don't know, just that we're not all bad people, I guess, and we're not just all bludgers that expect to be given out money, you know. Sometimes some of us have real reasons why, and I think they should be more accepting when they look at people rather than just all judging us all like we're the same. I just think they should try and think a bit more when they look basically as to what they're seeing, not straight away judge us like we're bad and bludging and we just don't deserve anything when we probably do. That sort of thing. That's how I would sort of think the best way is they should probably try and think a bit more.
It's all right. Is there something that makes you optimistic or makes you look forward to in your future?
No, not particularly. Not particularly. I don't really have anything that I know of to look forward to. I'm just hoping that things get better, basically. And I get housing, that things get a bit more happier again in my life. Good. For a change.
Would you like to have another relationship?
Yeah, at some point I would like to. I would like to give another go. Yeah, it's been a couple of years now, and you start thinking a bit that way, like feeling like maybe I'm ready to try, and yeah.
Get a bit lonely on the street?
Yeah, you do get lonely a lot on your own. I mean, it's hard. That's why it's good sometimes to have other friends to hang out with, but yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Sweet.